Hydraulic turbine. In this class, we are discussing about axial flow turbines. So, axial flow turbines are turbines in which the flow is parallel to the axis of the turbine. So, normally, axial flow turbines are classified into two: propeller and Kaplan turbines. So it has been observed that with increasing specific speed, the flow tends to be axial. So the flow is axial, and the head required for axial flow turbines are very less. So the axial flow turbines are used where the head available is very low and the volume flow rate is very high. If the water flows parallel to the axis of the rotation of the shaft, the turbine is known as axial flow turbine. So here the water is flowing parallel to the axis of rotation of the shaft. When the head at inlet of the turbine is the sum of pressure energy and kinetic energy, so the head at the inlet of the turbine is pressure energy and kinetic energy. As the water flows over the turbine blades, it gets converted to reactive force. Pressure energy and kinetic energy gets converted to reactive force, and this reactive force is the main driving force for the rotation of the turbine. So such type of turbine is known as reaction turbine. Axial flow turbine is also a reaction turbine, but here the axis of the turbine is vertical. The axis of the turbine is vertical. The lower end of the shaft is made larger. So here, if this is the shaft and the lower end of the shaft is made larger. So like this is known as hub or boss. Hub or boss. The lower end of the shaft is made larger and the blades are arranged here. So the number of blades are very less compared to the Francis turbine and the impulse turbine. So the vanes are fixed on the hub. So the vanes are fixed on the hub and it acts as a runner for the axial flow turbine. The two important axial flow turbines are propeller turbine and Kaplan turbine. So this is the schematic representation of a Kaplan turbine. Here the axis is vertical. The shaft is placed vertical. So this portion is the hub or boss portion. So at this portion we are placing the vanes. So this is the vane, runner vane. So here water flows into the vanes axially. Axially. That means parallel to the shaft and leaves the shaft axially. And this entire vane and the hub is placed inside a casing which is known as scroll casing. If you have a look at this casing, this portion is larger compared to this portion. That means at the inlet of the turbine and the area is larger. As water flows through the turbine, the area decreases. There will be guide vanes are also placed here. So this guide vanes guides water to the runner vanes. So that is the main function of guide vanes. So this guide vane is also seen in the reaction turbines. So this is the schematic representation. This diameter is diameter dB, diameter of Bose diameter, and this diameter is outer diameter DO. So there will be two diameter, Bose diameter and outer diameter. Bose diameter means diameter of the Bose. DO is the outer diameter, which is the diameter of the blades, runner blades. Okay. So this figure also represents a Kaplan turbine, which is an axial flow turbine. Here the water is entering through the sideways and the guide vanes guides water to the runner vanes. So as water passes through the runner vanes, its pressure energy and kinetic energy gets converted to reactive force, which will drive the runner. Okay, it will rotate the runner. So propeller turbine. One type of axial flow turbine is propeller turbine. So they need to utilize low hertz. So we know that axial flow turbines are used for low hertz where large volume of water is available. So we have large volume of water, but the head available is very low, which makes it essential to provide a large flow area. So there will be large flow area and to run the machine at very low speed, and it will run the machine at a very low speed. The propeller turbine is a reaction turbine used for heads between 4 meter to 80 meter. So normally 4 meter to 80 meter is the working range of head for the axial flow turbines. It is purely axial flow device providing the largest possible flow area that will utilize a large volume of water and still obtain flow velocities which are not too large. So here in the case of propeller turbine, these blades are placed on the hub. So these blades are actually known as, this arrangement is known as propeller. So the shape is similar to a propeller of a boat. So normally boat moves forward due to the propeller action of the blades placed at the rear end of the boat. The shape of the vanes and the rotor is similar to the propeller of a boat or a ship. That is why it is known as propeller turbine. So there will be a hub. At the end of the hub, the blades are placed. So here the main problem is that these vanes are not adjustable. These are fixed vanes. We cannot change the angle of the vanes. So in the case of propeller turbine, we are using the propeller shaped runner blades. Okay. Next, the Kaplan turbine. So in the Kaplan turbine, we are placing the blades over a hub. So these blades are adjustable because some servo motor mechanism is placed inside the hub so that we can change the angle of the blade according to the load required. Okay, so that is the main difference between the propeller turbine and the Kaplan turbine. In the case of Kaplan turbine, the vanes are adjustable, but in the case of propeller turbine, the vanes are not adjustable. It is fixed vanes. So in an axial flow reaction turbine, the shaft is vertical. The lower end of the shaft is a larger and is known as hub or boss. That is this thing we have already discussed in the previous slides. It is on this hub that the vanes are attached. If the vanes are adjustable, then it is known as Kaplan turbine. So this is the important point. If the vanes are adjustable, so in the case of Kaplan turbine, the vanes are adjustable, whereas in the case of propeller turbine, the vanes are non-adjustable. Non-adjustable vanes, then it is known as propeller turbine. The vanes are adjustable, then it is known as Kaplan turbine. So Kaplan turbine is the greatest development of 19th century, and it is invented by Victor Kaplan. So the Kaplan turbine is invented by Victor Kaplan of Australia during the year 1913 to 1922. The Kaplan is of the propeller type similar to an airplane propeller. The Kaplan turbine is a low head turbine and used for heads of less than 80 meters. It is a pure axial flow turbine. It uses basic aerofoil theory. Aerofoil theory means the shape of the wings of the aeroplane is known as aerofoil shape. So this shape is copied in the vanes of this turbine. So the turbine blade shape is aerofoil shape. Next, working proportions of a Kaplan turbine. So these proportions are necessary for solving the problems related to the Kaplan turbine or axial flow turbines. The first working proportion is the ratio dB by d0. So we know that dB is the diameter of the boss and do is the outside diameter of the runner. So do outside diameter of the runner, dB is the diameter of the boss. So this ratio is taken as n is equal to dB by do. Next thing is discharge through the turbine. So it is found out by area into velocity of flow. So area here will be obtained from the equation pi by 4 do square minus dB square, area through which the water is flowing. So area is pi by 4 do square minus dB square into velocity of flow. Velocity of flow is Vf. So also we know that Vf is equal to flow ratio into root 2 GH. So pi by 4 dO square minus dB square into Kf into root 2 GH. So if we take a dO square outside, then the equation becomes pi by 4 dO square into 1 minus n square into Kf into root 2 GH. So the equation becomes like this, and n is the ratio of dB divided by dO. So the value of n ranges from 0.35 to 0.60. These values you must by heart so that you can take a value ranging from 0.35 to 0.6 if the value is not given in the problem. So kf value, it is, if it is not given, you can take value as 0.7. You must by heart this value also, as the value changes for the reaction turbine and axial turbine. For axial turbine, normally you can take flow ratio as 0.7. So next thing you have to remember is that peripheral velocity u of the runner vanes depends upon the radius of the point under consideration. So the velocity of the runner is denoted by u. This value depending upon the point at which we are considering for the calculation purpose. So it will vary and you have to take u according to the vane angle. Okay, so this value you must take very carefully. Okay, and thus the blade angle varies from the rim to boss and the vanes are wrapped. This is necessary to ensure shock free entry and exit. So shock free entry and exit means we are neglecting any kind of losses there. That is why it is denoted as shock free entry and exit. Shock free means we are neglecting the frictional loss, like frictional loss and other kind of losses, heat loss, etc. We need to neglect there. The third point is flow velocity remains constant. Flow velocity remains constant means Vf1 is equal to Vf2. So these are the design considerations. Next we have to look at the various problems regarding the axial flow turbines. So that's all for today's class. Okay.